Sunday. We're doing a total body day. We're gonna do a little get ready with me and talk about my journey in kind of bodybuilding and where I am with that now and what my plans are moving forward. I already did my skincare and everything. I did just like rinse off in the shower. I did do like a self tanner situation last night. I did try a new brand. Bella Body is the brand. Hold on, let me grab it. The Express Tan, it's invisible. It was like, this is the foam one. The fact that it was like white made it kind of hard to see where I was going with the self tanner, but I feel like she's like a nice little bronze, nothing too crazy. It is a 1 hour express one. I feel like it didn't feel sticky. It also did not transfer, so I feel like she's a pretty good option. So yeah, let's get into the routine. I will be wearing a bandana today. I don't feel like dealing with my hair. Also, with this onesie situation that I'm wearing, it is extremely annoying if you have like a bun or something. Honestly, I low-key might just wear my hair down like this, low-key. And because once again, taking this off, it's like open in the back. You can definitely see that I missed this spot. Or is it like my tan lines? I literally don't know. But taking this off to go to the bathroom is literally one of the most obnoxious things ever. Low-key, I'm like, wait, this kind of looks crazy. Should I wear something different? I'm wearing it, I don't care. I feel like wearing this, and this color is just... So anywho, we're gonna go ahead and get into the get ready with me. I always start off with sunscreen, protect your skin, girlies. This is actually a new brand, the Kiehl's. This is so moisturizing and soft too. I'm just gonna like clip my bangs kind of out of the way. I don't know what happened to my other one of these that I had. Don't know where she went. Might actually go stop at the store and get more of these because I need to clip the hair out of the way. I'm gonna use a bobby pin for the other one. I literally don't know what happened to it. But anywho, okay, so let's get into the actual topics of conversation. So I began like my fitness journey in kind of high school. I like ran track and cross country. I did very much have an eating disorder. Okay, this is me while I'm editing, but why am I rubbing it in like that? Like it's so aggressive. Oh my god, is that what I look like when I put moisturizer on? Like she's just so aggressive. OMG. And then, you know, I did teach group fitness classes. I have taught spin, and then I started personal training after I graduated. I'm now working on getting my master's in nutrition because, you know, obviously education is great. Knowing more about nutrition, especially when you are a personal trainer, is also extremely important. Although, you know, I am thinking about being like a nutritionist for athletes or working in a clinic specifically with people or for people who have type 2 diabetes and trying to reverse their insulin resistance. But anywho, so anyways, I'm a personal trainer in California. And I had a client and she was like, I kind of want to do a bodybuilding competition. And I was like, girl, I can't train you for that. I don't know how to train somebody for a bodybuilding competition. I honestly didn't know much about it. Side note, I'm using the Patrick Ta foundation. Love her. She's like a little light when I do self tan, but you know, we add a little bit of contour and it's fine. Also, I don't go crazy on it. I just kind of like go under my eyes, and especially if I'm wearing a bandana, I don't put any on my forehead, although I don't know if I'm wearing a bandana yet today. So we're just gonna kind of go with the flow and see what happens. But so I'm training out of California, and my client is like, girl, I want to do a bodybuilding competition. And I was like, girl, I don't know how to train you for that. So, you know, I was like, you know, there was at the time a trainer working at the gym that I worked at that, you know, had competed, and she has trained people for competition. So I was like, you know, I'm going to recommend you go to her. Also, that is an extremely important thing in my opinion. When you're a trainer and somebody wants to do something that you know nothing about, giving them to somebody else, or, you know, guiding them in a direction of somebody who knows more about that than you is so important, because I could not have trained her for that. So, and then, you know, months go by, and, you know, we kind of like don't talk about it until she brings it up again. Next, we're going to go into contour. I don't do it once again. Oh my God, I forgot. Oh. Stop. I always do. I got this forever ago. Okay, we're going to put this on because I always put this on. And this is the Revlon Color Stay Face and Body Glow Lotion. We're just gonna put this over the foundation. Normally I put it under the foundation, but the foundation's a little light for me right now, so we're just gonna pop her on. This is the one. I don't know if she's focused. There we go. I don't know. But we're just gonna put her on a little bit. This is more so like, you don't need to follow this. This is more so just like about me. Anyway, so just pop a little bit of her on. So she brings up again, she's like, why don't you do it with me? And I was like, I've always thought about doing a bodybuilding competition. To be honest, I have, like, you know, thought about it. And honestly, at that point in time, me and my boyfriend had been getting into watching, you know, YouTube videos of people who, you know what, you always need to keep like a towel on deck while doing makeup. Because I have to like wipe my hands off after I put product on my hands. So me and my boyfriend were also like during that time kind of more so into watching content about bodybuilding. And you know, there's a lot of YouTubers out there that do create good content. We were watching Will Tennyson, I think, during that time. He was also training for his, or like he had just posted his like videos about doing his competition. And then we would watch Mike Isatel, his videos are great, just about like lifting in general and education on exercise science. So, you know, she brought it up again, and I was like, you know what, like maybe, like I was like, okay, like potentially I'm down. And I reached out to the trainer that I was recommending her about. Well, I gave my client the trainer's like info, and her name is Misfit Bennett. I love her. She is on all platforms of social media at Misfit Bennett. Okay, so anyways, so I you know, gave her information, and then like me and Miss like were cool. We didn't talk that much at work, but like we like understood each other, if that makes sense. We would clock the tea, you know, that's going on around the gym. So, you know, she talked to me about it, and I was like, yeah, like, you know, I'm a firm believer in like, you know, if I don't know how to do something, I'm not going to like, you know, especially something like a bodybuilding competition, I'm going to recommend that she goes to somebody who knows what they're talking about. So anywho, time goes by. This was probably like October, November time. And I contoured like my nose, so I'm just like blending that out now. So she sends me like an Instagram thing. This is like late November now. So this was probably back in October. September, October, when, you know, we talked. And then late November, she sends me a like Instagram thing that she was doing a toy drive for you know, like to get toys to donate for like kids or like shelters for Christmas. And it was like, if you know, come, you get a free workout if you bring a toy. And I also told her prior, sorry, I feel like I'm like all over the place with this story. Next we're gonna go in with contour. Side note, I'm using the Rare Beauty brand. I do kind of mix it with my lighter Fenty one sometimes, depending on the vibes. So so when I told her about the client, I also told her that I was like potentially, you know, interested in doing a competition as well, as my client like wanted me to kind of like, you know, go through the process with her. Also, you know, the importance of building relationships with your clients. Like all my clients at the old gym that I worked at were amazing. We had such a great, you know, relationship, and I love all of them. So if any of you are watching this, I love you girlies. So, you know, I end up going to, you know, her workout, and I bring a toy, and we're sitting there talking, and she's like, okay, so like, are you still down to like train? And I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not put much thought into this at all. I didn't really think too deeply about what, you know, bodybuilding was, what it took to be a bodybuilder. Like, obviously I knew how to work out, I know how to train hard, I know that nutrition is extremely important in meeting your goals. But I just knew nothing about bodybuilding, to be honest. And I really didn't think too deeply about it. And honestly, I'm somebody who kind of was just like, oh, like it doesn't seem like it's that hard. Stupid. Also, I wanted a trainer because I felt kind of like stagnant in the gym, and I just needed a little spice in my life. So no matter what, I kind of wanted her to train me. So she was like, okay, so are we doing it or what? And I was like, F it. So we signed up that day for me to train with her, and I started training for the bodybuilding competition. This was the beginning of December. I think I started training with her on like, my first day with her was December. We're gonna go in with the Fenty, just like to do a little to make sure she's nice and bright here. She's almost out, to be honest. So we started training on like December 2nd, and that was that. And I like, you know, trained from December 2nd until April 25th, which was the day of my competition. Okay, so now I'm going to wipe my eyebrows because I'm going to plaster them with the e.l.f. Brow Lift. And then I'm gonna add some bronzer, powder bronzer on top, and then I'm gonna do some setting powder too, and then of course blush. But first we're going to lay these eyebrows. Literally don't mind the hand looks crazy from the self tanner. But so yeah, so I'm training with her, and once again, like when I tell you, I really didn't think too deeply about how hard this would be. And it honestly didn't get too hard until like February, March, like the last few months. So I trained for like 5 months for this. Obviously you don't have to do something like that quickly either, but you know, once again, it didn't get hard until then. Obviously you're on a pretty hefty calorie deficit. I was doing 2 cardios a day. I was lifting, I was working. It was a lot. And honestly, I loved it so much. I loved the structure that it gave me. I feel like during that time before I started training with her, I was very chaotic. I didn't have like a schedule. I was training a lot of clients. I was kind of all over the place, and that is exactly what I needed in that time. I'm also a firm believer in, if you are feeling kind of stagnant in something, or you feel like you need some kind of motivation, signing up for something. I have done a half marathon. When I was really into running, I signed up for a half marathon with my best friend. That was great motivation. And then of course after that, I wanted to get back into lifting, so that was super motivating. And then eventually I do want to do a full marathon, and then of course I did a bodybuilding competition. So yeah, so you know, it got really hard. Obviously closer you're at extremely low body fat, you're lifting still, it's a lot. And it was definitely an experience, and I feel like it was, you know, more so, honestly, it's what I tell people, a spiritual experience than anything else. And I feel like it was more so a spiritual experience because I feel like I learned so much about myself and learning about living through the experiences that you're going through and not trying to just push past them or get through them. You know, there's gonna be a lot of things in life that are hard. And you, unfortunately, are going to have to experience them, especially when you want something. Like, that doesn't have to be just, you know, fitness, your fitness goals. That could also be translated into everyday life. Like, if you want to start a business, if you know, want to train for something else, like a marathon or a half marathon, or, you know, just any kind of goals. It's going to require some time of being uncomfortable, and you're going to have to just learn to live through it and push through it to get to where you want to be. So I feel like I learned that about myself. I also learned that it's okay to not be good at everything the first time you do it. It's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to, you know, fumble in front of people. It's okay to look stupid in front of people, and who cares? At the end of the day, I feel like I stopped giving a flying fuck. I feel like I didn't have the energy to give a fuck. But when I tell you, I used to never make a sound in the gym. I used to not, like, I used to be so, like, worried about what people thought about me. And now, and even still, I don't give a fuck. Because in order for you to be successful, you have to not care. Because no matter what, people are gonna judge you. So anyways, that's that on that. April 25th, 2026 was my competition day. I absolutely love the day of. I feel like it was so fun. It was very quick, which, you know, people are like, oh, like you do all this prep for like 5 seconds of your life. And yeah, but you get to show off your hard work, and you get to have fun. You get to eat. You get to be around your friends and family. So, you know, obviously that was great. So that, and now we are August 2nd, 2026. So what's going on now, I guess, is kind of more so where we're at in this point of the video. Okay, I'm gonna also do my eyebrows really quick. Don't judge this situation or the situation. I do need to get more of this brow lift. But so now my goal is kind of, you know, building muscle. I do kind of want to do another bodybuilding competition, although I feel like I do want to take more time than what I kind of wanted or I originally intended in between. And I say that because of course, my hormones are still not where they're supposed to be. I still don't have my period. I feel like I do kind of have a residual weird relationship with food that I'm trying to work on, and it is getting better with time. Like I said, I did have like an eating disorder before, but I feel like these don't correlate. I feel like now it's more so like tracking. Like, I feel like if I don't track something, like, it just makes me, like, it's like an OCD thing. I mean, obviously, like an eating disorder, I was like anorexic, is, you know, linked to OCD, and it's obviously a form of like compensating for something. So, you know, I want to have a more healthy relationship with food, and I'm still working on trying to figure out what my macros should be for gaining. And, you know, just once again, having a more healthy relationship with food. And I do not recommend doing a bodybuilding competition if you have a bad relationship with food to begin with, or you have like a bad image of, like a bad body image, or, you know, I feel like everybody has body dysmorphia. I feel like when I look at myself, I'm like, oh my God, like, I feel like I look so fluffy and I look so this and that. But then when I see pictures and videos of myself, I'm like, wait, I still look really small. So there's like a lot of things that comes with that. But, you know, you have to be, you know, my trainer always taught me you have to be stronger than like that. And like, you can't let your mind destroy like you know, you have to be stronger than your thoughts. You have to be stronger than anything, and you have to do what's necessary. Like, I'm still trying to get myself to focus on more so like what's important right now is for me to get my reproductive hormones back to a normal level, and to get my period back, and to, you know, put on muscle. That's my goal. So the next time I do a bodybuilding competition, who knows? It could be, you know, a year or two from now. I am gonna be 27, which is crazy. I am like, how am I that old? But I'm gonna be 27 this year, so, you know, I know that it does like take a toll on stuff like that. So, you know, I want to do it sooner rather than later, but I do want to take enough time in between to once again, have a more healthy kind of relationship with food, and to kind of be in the mood to get shredded again, or to cut, or to have that like struggle. You know, I do crave a struggle. My trainer, she used to also just call me like a masochist. Like, I would hate it. I would get really annoyed, or I wouldn't like it when it wasn't hard. I liked it when things felt hard because it made me feel like I was doing enough, which is also a whole nother problem in and of itself. Anyways, let's finish these eyebrows and then get into the blush of it all. But, you know, I do enjoy, you know, things being hard because it makes you feel alive. Once again, I don't know if that's like a normal thing or not. We might be a little crazy, but that's okay, you know? I feel like everybody has their thing. I feel like, you know, lifting and pushing myself to limits that I didn't know exist makes me feel alive. And, you know, everybody has their thing. So, you know, actually I lied. We are gonna go in with some bronzer too. Let me grab my bronzer brush. So that's kind of where I'm at now. I just want to build. I want to, so when I do cut and when I do another bodybuilding competition, I, you know, have something to show for it. So, and building muscle takes time. That shit takes time, and you have to eat. But do you have to, like, I think there's also, you know, a disconnect between like bulking and like whatever. Like, you also, you're allowed to, obviously, when you're during a phase of trying to build, you can eat kind of whatever you want, but, you know, it just depends on your goals. Do you need to be out here eating McDonald's or terrible food every single day? No. Can you? Yes. So it's kind of like a balance that you need to find, and I'm still trying to find it. But anyways, we're doing the Huda, Huda, what am I saying? That is the setting powder. This is the Benefit, what is it? Hola Medium Bronzer. We're gonna dust some for all. I don't want her to be too crazy. I always put it on my eyes too. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. I'm like trying to once again just get into a better like headspace when it comes to my body and, you know, just living life. Like, I want to enjoy food. I want to, you know, have that craving of needing something to work towards before I put myself into another competition. So yeah, that's where we're at. Okay, so now we are going to, I'm sorry, I keep saying like everything and then like not doing it. We're going in with our Patrick Ta blush. What shade is this? What does it say? Where is she on here? Does it not say the name on here? It's like the plum one. Hold on. There's no name on it, but this is the shade. Oh my god, like it literally matches the fit. I don't know the shade. Also, I use this as like I was like doing my hair in like on the carpet, and I was using this as like a thing to put the flat iron on, and it like melted it. I was not expecting that. But yeah, I don't see the shade color on here at all. So anyways, oh wait, what? This shade is called She Goes to the Gym. That's crazy. Love that for myself. I didn't even know that was the name of the shade. Period. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna pat her on there. I always use my finger to apply the cream portion. Like, I put it on there and kind of like get it mixed in with the warmth of my skin, and then I go in with the back end of this brush and blend her out fully. And then we are going to set her with the Cherry Blossom. I do know the name of this. Huda Beauty setting powder. Just going to do a dash, nothing crazy. Boom. Done. The lips, we're gonna do a little lip combo. We're gonna do the Rhode lip liner in the shade Balance, and then we're gonna mix in the Makeup by Mario Smoky Pink, and then we're going to use the Espresso Rhode gloss on top. So I always start off with the Rhode one, the more brown tone. I've been really loving this. So we're gonna pop her on. I kind of hate the blender on this. Like, what is this? Haley, what were you doing? What were you thinking? So we're gonna use the brush version on the Makeup by Mario one and blend that out. You know, one thing I do like about her lip liner, I feel like it dries down pretty fast, which is nice. And then we're gonna go in with the not the Patrick Ta, oh my god, the Makeup by Mario. And blend her out. I always have to do some kind of lip combo. I feel like this is like my everyday makeup, to be honest. Like, I know this is like my, and I quote, gym makeup, although I'm not very good at makeup, and I like my face to look good. I don't really do much to my eyes or anything like that. I don't like a lot on my eyes, even when I am getting ready, unless somebody else does it for me. But I feel like I just am not very good at it. So anyways, then we're gonna top it off with the gloss. And then we're gonna see what the hair is giving and see if we wanna put a bandana on her. Okay. Let's go. Okay. You know, once again, I feel like taking this onesie on and off is literally one of the most annoying things on the planet. But also working with my hair down is extremely overstimulating anyway, so I don't know what I want to do when it comes to the hair. Honestly, I might just like put it up in a bun when I get there, and you know, so I can like just a messy bun, so that like if I need to fix it, it's like fine. But anyways, that was my little makeup routine. Get ready with me for the gym. There's something in my hair. And yeah, and a little bit about me and bodybuilding and, you know, how I got there. I do recommend, like, if you want to do a bodybuilding competition, I mean, once again, I said that, like, you know, I didn't put much thought into it when I decided to do it. And I really am grateful for that, because I feel like now that I know, I'm like, okay, like, I need to, like, have the urge to, you know, go through something again to do it. But it's not something that you should do because somebody told you to do. It has to be something that you want to do, because it is an extremely hard thing to go through, and it's a hard thing to do. It's not easy. Any kind of fitness journey isn't really easy. So, you know, you have to want it. You have to want that for yourself. And, you know, don't let other people, you know, convince you that you should do something. Because, you know, once again, like, I feel like if you already have a kind of bad relationship with your body or with food, it's just going to make it worse. And you have to be okay with, you know, seeing yourself in the smallest version possible, the leanest version, the most muscular, the most vascular version of yourself, and be okay with going back to how you were, going back to somebody who it doesn't look like that on a daily basis. Like, you have to be okay with gaining the weight and getting back to a certain thing. And once again, like I said, that's something that I am working on personally still. I, you know, of course, like, and you create a habit. Once you start doing something like that, it becomes a habit. and kind of reversing that is a process you have to go through and something you have to be gentle with yourself and, you know, not care that you're not going to look like that for a period of time, or you may never look like that again if you decide to never do a competition again. So yeah, that's just kind of some food for thought on like that topic. Anyways, this is the look. We're gonna probably, like I said, just do a messy bun and move on with our day. But anyways, thank you so much for watching and enjoy the rest of your day, besties. Like, subscribe, follow, all the above.